Welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had that feeling where you just knew something was going to happen, even though there was no logical reason for it? Or perhaps you've had moments where you felt deeply connected to something greater but couldn't explain exactly what it was. It's like sensing a deeper reality, a kind of knowing beyond words. Does that sound familiar to you? If so, then you're in the right place, because today we're going to talk about something powerful and transformative: intuition and spirituality. So what exactly are intuition and spirituality? Why are they so important for personal growth, and how can strengthening both lead to a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you? Let's break it down together. Intuition is something that every person has the ability to tap into. It's that inner knowing, the subtle feeling or insight that comes to you without needing to rely on reasoning or logic. It's not about understanding something through facts or tangible evidence, but about sensing it with your inner self. Intuition can be something as simple as knowing that you should call someone before they pick up the phone, or a deeper feeling that guides you towards making certain decisions in life, even when you don't have all the answers. It's like a silent whisper from within, a knowing that goes beyond the intellect. Now, spirituality is often seen as a connection to something greater than ourselves. It's not always tied to religious practices, but it's about experiencing and recognizing the presence of something more profound in your life. Spirituality is about feeling connected to the universe, nature, and other people. It's about understanding that there's a deeper purpose to life and finding meaning beyond the material world. It's a journey of inner discovery that can lead to greater peace, clarity, and alignment with your true self. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or simply spending time in nature, spirituality helps you connect to your inner wisdom and the world around you on a soul-deep level. So why are developing intuition and spirituality so important? Simply put, strengthening both of these aspects can transform the way we live. Intuition allows us to make decisions that are aligned with our higher self, to trust in the subtle guidance that we often overlook. It helps us tune into the energy of the universe and act in ways that feel in harmony with the greater flow of life. When we're more attuned to our intuition, we feel more confident in the choices we make, and we start to trust ourselves more deeply. At the same time, developing spirituality deepens our understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. It creates a sense of peace and purpose that goes beyond external circumstances. When we nurture our spirituality, we begin to understand our role in the grand design of the universe, and we cultivate compassion, love, and a sense of belonging. Spirituality helps us stay grounded in the face of challenges and reminds us that we're never truly alone. It's the foundation of inner strength and resilience. When both intuition and spirituality are developed, they form a powerful combination that leads to a more enriched and fulfilling life. By honing your intuition, you become more aware of the subtle energies around you and within you. And by deepening your spirituality, you cultivate a sense of connection, peace, and purpose that guides your intuition in positive ways. Together, they help you live with a greater sense of purpose, navigate life's challenges with grace, and experience a deeper connection to your own essence and the world around you. Now that you know why developing intuition and spirituality is so important, I want to invite you to take part in this journey of self-growth with me. If this topic resonates with you, I encourage you to like and share this video with anyone who might also be interested in exploring their intuition and spirituality. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated with more insightful content on personal growth, spiritual development, and how to live a more connected and fulfilling life. Together, we'll dive deeper into these concepts in the upcoming sections, and I'll share practical tips and exercises to help you develop your intuition and spiritual awareness. Thank you for being here, and I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Let's start by understanding what intuition and spirituality truly are. These concepts are often misunderstood or seen as mystical abilities only accessible to a few people. But the truth is that intuition and spirituality are inherent parts of every human being. Let's break these down one by one to see how they can work together to enrich our lives and help us tap into deeper parts of ourselves. Intuition is often described as the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. It's a sense of knowing that comes from within, and it's not always based on logic, facts, or evidence. Instead, intuition is a feeling or an impression that we receive from our inner consciousness. It's like an inner compass that guides us in our decisions and interactions, often when our logical minds can't fully explain what's happening. It's important to understand that intuition is not some mystical gift that only a select few people possess. Everyone has it whether they realize it or not. It's a natural part of our consciousness, a sixth sense that allows us to pick up on subtle cues and energies around us. For example, have you ever had a feeling about someone or something that turned out to be true, even though you didn't have any tangible evidence to back it up? That's your intuition at work. Intuition is something that you can trust and rely on, but it requires practice to become more attuned to it. We all experience intuitive moments, but most of the time we overlook them or brush them off. The key to honing your intuition is to pay attention to those moments and learn to recognize the subtle signals that your inner self is sending. Whether it's a gut feeling, an inner voice, or a flash of insight, intuition is always working in the background, guiding us towards decisions that align with our higher purpose. One of the key aspects of intuition is that it does not rely on logic or reasoning. This means that it doesn't come from our mental processes, rather it emerges from a deeper level of awareness. For example, you might walk into a room and immediately feel uneasy, even though nothing in the environment is obviously wrong. That feeling of discomfort could be a sign from your intuition alerting you to a situation or energy that your conscious mind has not yet recognized. Intuition taps into energies and information that are beyond our normal conscious awareness, often picking up on things we cannot immediately explain or understand. Now let's turn to spirituality. Spirituality is often associated with religion, but it is much broader than that. Spirituality is about connecting with yourself, with the universe, and with the unseen energies around us. It's a way of understanding the deeper aspects of life, and it's about experiencing a sense of meaning, purpose, and peace. Spirituality is something that transcends the physical world and helps us tap into the unseen forces that govern the universe. Spirituality doesn't require adherence to a particular religion or belief system. It's a personal journey of self-discovery that can take many forms. For some, spirituality might involve prayer, meditation, or rituals from their religious practices. For others, it might mean spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or contemplating the mysteries of life. What matters most is the connection you feel to something greater than yourself, and the way that connection enriches your life. One of the fundamental aspects of spirituality is the sense of peace and inner fulfillment it brings. When we connect with our spiritual selves, we tap into a deeper understanding of who we are and our purpose in the world. Spirituality helps us find meaning in the ups and downs of life, offering us a sense of belonging to something larger than our individual experiences. It also encourages us to live in alignment with our values, acting with compassion, kindness, and a sense of responsibility toward others and the world around us. Spirituality is not limited to religious practices. It can be as simple as taking time each day to center yourself, reflect on your intentions, and tune into the energy around you. It's about cultivating a sense of presence and awareness in your everyday life. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply observing the world around you, spirituality invites us to slow down and connect with the deeper truths of existence. So how do intuition and spirituality work together? The connection between the two is deep and symbiotic. Intuition and spirituality complement each other in profound ways. While intuition is the inner guidance system that helps us sense and navigate through life, spirituality provides the tools, practices, and frameworks that nurture and strengthen our intuitive abilities. When we develop our intuition, we begin to open ourselves up to receiving spiritual messages and guidance. Intuition acts as a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm, allowing us to sense things that are not immediately visible or tangible. Spirituality, on the other hand, provides the context for understanding and interpreting these intuitive messages. It's through spiritual practices like meditation, mindfulness, or prayer that we cultivate the awareness necessary to listen to our intuition with greater clarity and confidence. Intuition can help us understand spiritual messages in a more direct way. For example, during meditation, you may receive insights or impressions about your life or your purpose. These intuitive messages might come as feelings, thoughts, or visions. Spiritual practices help you understand the significance of these messages and integrate them into your life. When we nurture our spirituality, we create a space for our intuition to thrive, as both are ultimately expressions of our higher consciousness. In addition, spirituality teaches us to trust and honor our intuition. Often we may doubt or question the messages we receive from within, especially if they go against what our logical minds are telling us. But spirituality encourages us to trust the wisdom of our inner guidance, knowing that it comes from a place of truth and love. By embracing our intuition and allowing it to lead us, we become more in tune with our spiritual selves and the greater flow of the universe. The relationship between intuition and spirituality is a dynamic one. Intuition helps us become more aware of the spiritual energies around us, and spirituality provides the tools and understanding to interpret and follow these intuitive messages. Together, they help us live more consciously, aligning our actions with our true purpose and deeper spiritual truths. Now that we've explored the basics of intuition and spirituality and understood how they work together, it's time to shift our focus to practical ways we can develop both. How can we sharpen our intuitive abilities? How can we deepen our spiritual practices? In the next section, we'll look at various methods and techniques you can incorporate into your life to begin developing and strengthening your intuition and spirituality. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into these practices and get ready to unlock your full potential by aligning your intuition with your spiritual path. Now that we understand what intuition and spirituality are, let's delve into the methods you can use to develop both. Developing your intuition and spirituality is not an overnight process. It requires consistent practice and a willingness to tune into the deeper parts of yourself. There are several practices that can help you sharpen your intuition and deepen your spiritual connection. Let's explore some of the most effective methods that you can start incorporating into your life today. One of the most powerful tools for developing intuition and spirituality is meditation. Meditation allows you to quiet the mind, slow down your thoughts, and tune into the present moment. This practice helps you connect with your inner self, which is essential for both spiritual growth and intuitive development. When you meditate, you create a space for yourself to become more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. This heightened awareness is crucial for developing intuition because it enables you to recognize the subtle messages and feelings that arise from within. When you focus on your breath or use visualization techniques, you may begin to notice intuitive impressions or insights that you wouldn't have otherwise. These impressions may appear as feelings, images, or sudden thoughts that seem to come from nowhere but carry a sense of knowing. There are many different forms of meditation, so you can experiment to find what works best for you. Mindfulness meditation is a great place to start. This practice involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. You can begin by simply focusing on your breath, observing the sensations of breathing in and out. As your mind begins to settle, you may start to notice subtle thoughts or feelings emerging. These are often the beginnings of intuitive insights. As you practice more, you'll find it easier to recognize and trust these impressions. Another effective meditation technique is visualization. In this practice, you can visualize a specific image, such as light, a guiding figure, or an energy field, and allow it to guide you. This can be a powerful way to connect with spiritual energy and develop your intuition, as visualization helps bring your focus inward and create a connection with the deeper aspects of your consciousness. The key to meditation and mindfulness is consistency. Set aside time each day to meditate, even if it's just for a few minutes. Over time, you'll begin to notice that your intuitive abilities become more refined and that you're able to connect with your spiritual self more easily. Nature is one of the most powerful sources of energy that we have access to. The natural world is alive with vibrations, energies and rhythms that are often in harmony with our own inner selves. When we immerse ourselves in nature, we open ourselves to the energies of the earth, which can help us tune into our intuition and deepen our spiritual connection. Spending time in nature can be as simple as taking a walk in the park, hiking in the woods, or sitting quietly by a river. Whether you're watching a sunrise, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, or simply observing the beauty around you, nature has a way of helping us reconnect with our inner selves and the larger universe. When we immerse ourselves in nature, we are surrounded by quiet and simplicity. In these environments, there's less mental clutter and fewer distractions, which makes it easier to tune into the subtle signals and messages from within. You might start to notice that your senses become heightened. In nature, sounds become clearer, colours seem more vivid, and your awareness of the present moment increases. These heightened senses are signs that your intuition is sharpening and that you're becoming more attuned to the energies around you. Nature also has a grounding effect. The Earth's energy is stabilizing, and when we spend time outside, we can reconnect with this grounding force. This grounding helps you stay centered and open to the intuitive messages that may arise. Whether you're walking barefoot on the grass, sitting under a tree, or meditating by the ocean, nature provides a natural setting for intuitive insights to emerge. The next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, take a moment to step outside and immerse yourself in nature. Even if you live in a city, finding a park or a garden where you can sit quietly for a while can work wonders in helping you tune into your spiritual self and enhance your intuition. Another powerful practice for developing intuition and spirituality is prayer. While many people think of prayer as a way to ask for things, it's also a form of communication with the spiritual world. Prayer allows us to express gratitude, seek guidance, and connect with a higher power. It's a practice that can be deeply spiritual, and it creates an open channel through which we can receive intuitive insights and spiritual messages. When you pray, you're essentially opening yourself up to the divine energies around you. It's a time of reflection, surrender, and connection. But prayer isn't just about asking for things. It's about creating a conversation with the universe, a higher power, or whatever you believe in. Through prayer, you can ask for clarity, guidance, and understanding, and you may receive answers in the form of feelings, thoughts, or images that arise in your mind. These are often intuitive responses, and learning to recognize them can deepen both your intuition and your spiritual awareness. In addition to prayer practicing, mindful awareness is another essential tool for developing intuition. Mindful awareness involves being fully present in the moment and observing your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. It's about becoming aware of your internal experiences without reacting to them immediately. By cultivating this awareness, you become more attuned to the subtle changes in your thoughts and feelings, which are often the first signs of intuitive guidance. Mindful awareness can be practiced throughout your day, not just during meditation or prayer. Whether you're eating, walking, or having a conversation, practicing mindfulness allows you to become more aware of your surroundings and your internal state. As you develop this awareness, you'll start to recognize the intuitive messages that are always present, guiding you along your path. Emotional awareness is another key element in developing intuition. Our emotions are powerful indicators of how we feel about certain situations, people, or experiences. By learning to recognize and understand our emotions, we can tune into the subtle messages that they carry. Our emotions are often the first signals that something is out of alignment with our true self, or that we're receiving intuitive guidance from within. For example, when you feel an inexplicable sense of joy, peace, or excitement about something, it could be an intuitive signal that you're on the right path. Conversely, feelings of discomfort, unease, or anxiety might be guiding you to pause and reflect on whether a situation is aligned with your higher self. The more you practice emotional awareness, the easier it becomes to distinguish between intuitive messages and emotional reactions. One way to develop emotional awareness is through journaling. By writing down your feelings and reflecting on the situations that trigger them, you can gain deeper insight into your emotional state and how it relates to your intuition. Over time, you'll begin to recognize patterns and start to trust the subtle shifts in your emotions that indicate intuitive guidance. As you become more aware of your emotions, you'll also become more attuned to your intuitive senses. This increased awareness helps you navigate life's challenges with clarity and confidence, as you can trust your emotional responses to guide you into the right direction. Developing intuition and spirituality is a lifelong journey, but it's one that can deeply enrich your life. Through practices like meditation, connecting with nature, prayer, and emotional awareness, you can sharpen your intuitive abilities and strengthen your spiritual connection. Each of these practices helps you tune into the subtle messages from within and the energies around you, allowing you to live a more connected, purposeful, and fulfilling life. Now that we've explored some powerful methods for developing intuition and spirituality, let's move forward and discuss how you can integrate these practices into your daily routine. It's not enough to simply understand these concepts, you must put them into action to truly experience their benefits. Stay with me as we look at how to build a consistent practice that enhances your intuition and spirituality every day. As you continue on the journey of developing your intuition and spirituality, it's essential to understand that this process is not always smooth or linear. There will be moments when you feel disconnected or uncertain, and you may even question whether you're truly making progress. These difficulties are a natural part of the process, and it's important to approach them with patience and persistence. Developing your intuition and spirituality takes time and effort, but every small step you take will contribute to significant growth over time. One of the challenges many people face when developing their intuition and spirituality is feeling disconnected. There are times when you may feel like you're not receiving any intuitive guidance, or that your spiritual practices aren't yielding the results you hoped for. During these moments, it's important to remind yourself that growth takes time. It's easy to become frustrated when we don't see immediate results, but remember that every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your higher self. Intuition is subtle, and it often doesn't speak to us in loud, obvious ways. Sometimes you might feel like you're not getting anything, but that's often when the biggest breakthroughs occur. During these periods of seeming inactivity, your mind and spirit are simply adjusting and preparing to receive more profound insights. It's important to be patient with yourself during these times and trust that the process is unfolding as it should. Spirituality too can sometimes feel like a challenge. There may be days when you feel disconnected from your spiritual practices or unsure about the direction of your spiritual path. These moments of doubt are completely normal. Every person who embarks on a spiritual journey experiences them. What matters is how you respond. The key is to stay persistent. Even if you don't feel particularly spiritual or in tune with your intuition on certain days, keep going. Consistency is crucial. Even small, simple steps every day will help you stay connected to both your intuition and your spiritual practice. Whether it's spending a few minutes meditating, taking a walk in nature, or reading a spiritual text, every action you take is building a foundation for deeper insight and connection. It's like planting seeds in a garden. You may not see the growth right away, but with time those seeds will sprout and bloom. If you encounter periods of doubt or difficulty, remind yourself that this journey is not about perfection, but progress. Each day brings you closer to a stronger, more connected version of yourself. Trust in the process and be kind to yourself during the challenging moments. One of the most important aspects of developing intuition is learning to trust yourself. Many people doubt their intuitive feelings, especially in the beginning, because they are often subtle and hard to explain. It's common to second-guess yourself or think that you're just imagining things. However, the more you practice tuning into your intuition, the more you'll begin to recognize the validity of your feelings and insights. Start by experimenting with your intuitive senses. When you feel a gut reaction or an inner knowing about a situation, person, or decision, pay attention. Don't dismiss these feelings even if they seem small or insignificant. Begin to track your intuitive responses by jotting down your feelings in a journal. Record when you feel certain things and see if they align with what happens later. Over time, you'll start to see patterns and your confidence in your intuitive abilities will grow. For example, let's say you have a feeling about a potential opportunity or decision, but are unsure whether it's just wishful thinking or a genuine intuitive message. Write down the feeling you had and any accompanying thoughts. Then revisit your notes later. Often you'll discover that your initial intuition was accurate. This kind of feedback loop helps you build trust in your inner guidance. Don't be afraid to experiment with your intuition. Ask yourself questions and pay attention to any feelings or thoughts that arise. If you're trying to make a decision, close your eyes for a moment, take a few deep breaths and notice what comes to mind. You might receive a sudden insight or a sense of clarity that you hadn't considered before. This is your intuition working for you. Building confidence in your intuition also involves trusting the process. Sometimes it may not feel like you're receiving clear answers, and that's okay. Intuition often works in a non-linear way, providing insights that might only make sense in retrospect. The more you practice, the more you'll learn to differentiate between intuitive guidance and your own mental chatter. Over time, this practice will become second nature. Just as with developing intuition, creating and maintaining spiritual habits is crucial for nurturing your spiritual growth. Spirituality is not a one-time experience or a destination. It is an ongoing journey. And like any meaningful journey, it requires consistency and dedication. Developing regular spiritual practices helps you stay connected to your higher self, the universe, and the energies that guide you. One of the most important aspects of spiritual growth is creating a daily routine that supports your spiritual needs. Whether it's setting aside time each morning for meditation, prayer, or journaling, having a regular spiritual practice allows you to remain grounded and connected no matter what challenges you face in your daily life. Start by dedicating a few minutes each day to spiritual practices that resonate with you. You might begin your day with a moment of gratitude, acknowledging the blessings in your life. Alternatively, you could focus on mindfulness practices where you bring your awareness to the present moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Both practices can help center your mind and deepen your spiritual awareness. Another powerful spiritual habit is reading spiritual texts. Whether it's sacred texts from your religious tradition, philosophy, or books about personal growth, reading regularly helps deepen your understanding of spiritual principles and provides a sense of connection to a larger wisdom. Reading spiritual texts not only gives you knowledge, but can also inspire and uplift your spirit. In addition to solo practices, participating in group spiritual activities can also support your journey. Whether it's attending a religious service, participating in a meditation group, or joining a spiritual community group activities, help foster a sense of connection and shared purpose. Engaging with others who are on a similar spiritual path can provide support, encouragement, and inspiration. Remember that consistency is key when it comes to building spiritual habits. It's not about having perfect practices every single day, it's about showing up regularly and making time for your spiritual growth. Over time, these habits will become deeply ingrained in your daily life, and you'll notice a profound shift in your spiritual connection and overall well-being. Once you've started building your intuitive and spiritual practices, it's essential to nurture them regularly. Life can sometimes get in the way, and it's easy to fall out of sync with your practices. However, maintaining your connection to your intuition and spirituality requires continual effort and attention. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Even on days when you feel disconnected or unsure, try to dedicate a small moment to your practices, whether it's a few minutes of quiet reflection or a short prayer. As with any relationship, the more you invest in your spiritual and intuitive practices, the deeper your connection will grow. Over time, your intuitive abilities will become more refined, and your spiritual understanding will deepen. You'll begin to notice how your practices shape your life in subtle but powerful ways, helping you navigate challenges with greater ease and insight. Developing and nurturing your intuition and spirituality is an ongoing process, one that requires patience, trust, and consistent practice. As you work through the difficulties and build confidence in your intuition, remember that small steps each day lead to significant growth. Trust in the process, experiment with your intuitive abilities, and create spiritual habits that keep you connected to your higher self and the universe. As we wrap up today's video, let's take a moment to reflect on the key points we've discussed. To truly develop both intuition and spirituality, it's essential to understand these two powerful concepts. Intuition is our inner compass, helping us navigate through life's challenges and decisions, while spirituality connects us to a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in the universe. By practicing methods like meditation, prayer, and connecting with nature, we can nurture both of these abilities and begin to tap into their full potential. It's important to remember that developing intuition and spirituality is a process that takes time. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's normal to face moments of uncertainty or doubt along the way. The key is to stay committed and continue nurturing these abilities every day. Whether it's through quiet moments of reflection, spending time in nature, or practicing mindfulness, each small action you take brings you closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. To truly experience the benefits of intuition and spirituality, apply the techniques we've discussed in your daily life. Start paying attention to the subtle messages your intuition sends you, those gut feelings, the inner whispers, and the insights that come when you least expect them. By strengthening both your intuition and your spirituality, you will find greater peace, purpose, and alignment in your life. These practices not only help you navigate challenges with greater ease, but also help you connect with your higher self and the universal energies that guide us all. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to like and share it with your friends and loved ones. There is no better way to spread the wisdom of these practices than by sharing them with those who may benefit from them as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated on more content about personal development, spirituality, and how to overcome life's challenges with confidence and clarity. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time and attention. I hope you found something valuable in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, continue nurturing your intuition, deepening your spirituality, and living with greater purpose and alignment.